What happened to this guy?
I said to Ryan, I'm so surprised how you see Luke.
I almost had to think of Luke as another character. Maybe he's Jake Skywalker. He's not my Luke Skywalker. Who is this guy? How did the most optimistic, hopeful character in the galaxy turn into this hermit?
Yes! I am back! Woo! You knew it!
The Mandalorian Season 2 finale. What else can I say about it? It was everything we've wanted to see as Star Wars fans for years. The episode was a mastercraft in blending of storytelling, fan service, and overall dedication in honoring the legacy of the lore that came before, while also crafting a new story that felt familiar and fresh. I'll do an entire breakdown of the episode and my thoughts on it, but this video serves as dedication to one shocking character who appeared in the show. I loved the entire season of The Mandalorian. I loved all the characters and the expansive world building the series did as a whole. However, the final 10 minutes of the last episode wiped the entire legacy of the sequel trilogy off the map. Taking away the shock and awe of a returning main character, it is a short and simple scene of a Jedi saving the day, wiping some somewhat scary looking robots off the map, rescuing our hero, the whole 9 yards. It's even a bit cliche in some sense. But it's what this does for the character of Luke Skywalker, our beloved hero turned legend of the original trilogy. By now we've all come to terms and accepted the fact that the sequel trilogy was bad. Really bad. Not only were the stories poorly written and interwoven, the new characters were uninteresting and flat. It ruined characters the main fan base grew up being inspired by, and turned them into shells of their former selves that seemed lifeless and all around not even the same person. Jake Skywalker. Resulting in a trilogy of movies that didn't even feel like Star Wars. That brings us to Luke. Oh, Luke. Luke Skywalker is the hero of the Star Wars story. Expanded universe, as well as things like the Disney era, have certainly expanded on what the Star Wars story is, but rest assured that the original trilogy, which defined Star Wars for millions of fans, is dedicated to building the legacy of this character and pushing him to this legendary status. So when the sequel trilogy came out, we were all expecting to see a Luke 30 years wiser with the ability of, essentially a space Jesus. What we got instead was an old hermit who died on a rock and abandoned the values that made us love the character to begin with. And even worse, the legacy of the Jedi altogether. As I said earlier, a shell of his former self. A Luke who even Mark Hamill himself described as
Jake Skywalker. He's not my Luke Skywalker.
What Disney and Dave Filoni did, and they know it, was give the biggest apology they could for their tarnished Jake Skywalker. Granted, it wasn't all too familiar and somewhat hazy apology. It was a beautiful work of art. Before I go any further, props to Disney, Filoni, Favreau, and even Kathleen Kennedy herself. At the end of the episode, to put it in layman terms, the good guys are cornered in a ship by a group of evil robots, Sentinels. There's no way out, no hope, until an X-Wing flies in.
One X-Wing? Great. We're saved.
This X-Wing just so happens to have a little R2 unit sitting in the top that pretty much no one is going to notice the first time they watch it. All the Sentinels stop in their tracks, detecting another life form on board.
And I guess they have some tiny little force sensor in them because there's no reason other than plot convenience for them to stop pushing towards NATO and the gang, but I digress.
The robotic troopers turn around as a hooded figure approaches them, and you see Baby Yoda reach his hand out to touch the screen as he watches this Jedi slaughter these dark troopers. I love this scene because it really emphasizes Grogu's connection to the Force and this all-powerful Jedi Master. We then see the montage we've been waiting years to see. Luke Skywalker himself, robotic hand and all, slashing away at the Dark Troopers with his iconic green saber, dicing them up, force pushing them, and topping it all off with a force crush, proving his heritage to Anakin. From there, we have an emotional scene where Luke explains that Grogu doesn't fear leaving Din.
He wants your permission.
So Din grants it. Grogu reaches his hand out, and Din finally takes his mask off so Grogu can see his real face. It's a beautiful moment that highlights the greatness of the show. It builds on its characters, makes you care for them, and because it's in a TV show format, it fleshes them out on a deeper level that you just can't do in a movie. So that moments like these, they truly pay off, and it's a big step up from the sequel trilogy. From there, Din attempts to release Grogu to go with Luke. He still hesitates until a familiar droid comes into frame, sparking Grogu's attention. Now, there's no denying that this scene between Grogu and R2-D2 is almost a sort of cutesy fan service moment, but it still pays off nonetheless. It almost appears as if Grogu knows R2-D2 and now feels safer going with him due to that, sparking all kinds of theories ranging from Grogu meeting R2 during the prequels to R2 actually rescuing Grogu when Order 66 happens. Either way, it's a scene with two of my favorite Star Wars characters standing face to face in a frame I never thought I'd see. After all that jaw-dropping excitement and emotion, Luke holds Grogu and leaves with R2, ending the episode. At this point in the episode, I'm gushing and gasping and clenching my seat with excitement at what I'm actually witnessing. If there's any moment that defines a Star Wars fan, it's this one. I mean, if you don't like this scene of, Luke dicing up all these dark troopers, I mean, can you even call yourself a Star Wars fan in a way? At least you don't understand what Star Wars is about, or at least you don't understand the character of Luke. It's one of those. I'll say this. Not only does that final shot make for a great poster, but Filoni and Favreau knew what they had on their hands with this one. Luke is an icon for fans all around the world, and to see him again so soon in his true glory as he's meant to be seen in The Mandalorian, exchanging words with Din Djarin and holding Grogu was all just so much to take in at once. I'm very interested in finding out the writing process of this season, and I want to know if the inclusion of Clone Wars characters, and even more so the inclusion of Luke, was a decision made by the writers or executives. Either way, I can rejoice in saying that the Star Wars community has been reunited, and we finally got to see the all-powerful Jedi Master Luke we've been waiting years to see. They may have tarnished his character in Episode 8, his face might be by a little I mean a lot, CGI. It may be only one scene, but we finally got to see him. See how easily the clouds part when you keep the characters true to their nature and give the fans what they want, Disney? Alright guys, that was my thoughts on The Mandalorian. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a little late, but I figured it's better late than never. But look forward to a whole stream of videos coming in the near future. I'm really planning on getting this YouTube channel up and going, especially with Disney Plus really ramping up this year with WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki. We have a whole lot of stuff like Godzilla vs. Kong and just a whole slew of movies coming out. So look forward to that. If you guys enjoyed my content, please like, please comment, please subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.